This is your statewide newscast, Arkansas Today.
We begin with breaking news. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office confirms they have found the vehicle they believe belonged to a slain Conway woman. Good afternoon, I'm Mallory Brooks. Officials say Elvia Fragstein's SUV was found this morning along Elm Street. You can see it here on your screen. It was found burned. Fragstein was kidnapped last week. Her body was later found also in Jefferson County. And yesterday, 2 teens were arrested in this case. 16-year-old Robert Smith Jr. and 18-year-old Takori Mackrell face kidnapping and theft of property charges. Deputies say 71-year-old Elvia Fragstein was taken from the Conway Commons parking lot on July 7th. Her body was found days later in a rural part of Jefferson County.
It's very scary and it hits more close to home. Growing up in Greenbrier, we're a small hometown kind of place, and shopping in Conway every day, growing up in Conway, you know, you get to feeling safe. Like things like that don't usually happen here, and you sure don't hear about it happening close to us.
The Conway Police Department saying they are ramping up security in the town, especially in areas around shopping centers. And an update out of Searcy County. The Sheriff's Office says an escaped inmate has been captured. Matthew Armstrong has been on the run since Saturday night. He was in jail on murder charges. Another inmate that escaped with Armstrong was captured Sunday morning. Attorney General Leslie Rutledge has announced an investigation into a pair of Little Rock apartment complexes notorious for bad living conditions. Bella Vista and Pleasant Ridge are the complexes in question, but as Arkansas Today's Victoria Price found out, they are far from the only rental properties in Little Rock where tenants live in unsafe environments.
Frances Carner suffers from spine problems.
I'm gonna have to get down on my knees here. Oh.
But it hasn't stopped her from going to back-breaking efforts to try and get her apartment repaired.
I'm not going to try it.
She says even though she did a walkthrough before moving into Holcomb Heights Apartments last fall,
Was not aware that there was an electrical issue that affected the entire front half of the apartment. I was unaware of foundation leaks that kept the bedroom wet.
Carner soon found her neighbors were facing similar issues. Sick of management not addressing concerns, and despite a fear their landlords might retaliate, they finally complained to Little Rock's Codes Department a couple of weeks ago.
And they seemed alarmed, and then I invited them in my apartment.
City leaders revealed earlier this summer that the city is out of compliance with its own rental inspection program. The ordinance requires rental properties be inspected every 2 years, but that doesn't happen.
It's impossible.
Part of it is a manpower issue, with only 5 codes inspectors assigned to keep tabs on rental properties. But when codes officers were interviewed during a housing study earlier this year, they also pointed out broad rules that allow loopholes, weak notice requirements, and fines too low to incentivize landlords.
These rental properties have not been inspected on a regular basis. They have serious structural issues.
Neil Seeley with Arkansas Community Organizations is calling on the city to clean up its rental inspection program.
We need to get this moving.
Meanwhile, Frances Carner is moving out.
Because of the mental and physical health, risks.
Plus, she's sick of bending over backwards just for a safe and healthy apartment.
The city told us it cannot comment on the outcome of the Holcomb Heights inspection because it is still under investigation, and inspectors need to have a chance to talk with complex management. Code enforcement also did not want to comment on camera, but provided a statement saying the city is reviewing its rental inspection ordinances to make possible changes. Well, emergency responders in Benton County improving their training for active shooter situations. They use the hallways of Bentonville West High School for their training ground. Centerton police leaders say that the drills give them the opportunity to become familiar with local schools, and using different locations helps them keep up with the best tactics.
This doesn't happen every day, and it's going to be chaos, and some of these guys need to know, when they show up on scene, how they're going to deal with this, and it's best to train it.
A larger joint effort will take place in 2 to 3 weeks with more Centerton firefighters. A hazmat situation at the University of Arkansas forcing a building on campus to be evacuated. Police say the nanoscale technology building was cleared out Monday because of a smell that made people cough. Police originally thought it was a natural gas leak, but nothing alarming was detected. A severely malnourished dog was abandoned near a park in Beebe. Now people living there are working together to save its life. We want to warn you, the video may be tough to look at this time. Animal control officers rescued 1-year-old Manny after a driver found it in a field. They say he weighs less than 30 pounds and needs to double his weight.
This is absolutely the worst case I have ever seen. He was covered in ticks, he had sores, very emaciated and scared. Emmanuel means God with us, and God was definitely with that little pup.
A nurse and vet from Beebe Veterinarian Hospital are looking after Manny for now. The city can't afford his bills, so they're relying on donations from the public. And they are off. It was quite a sight this morning at Clinton National Airport with 600 mini cars on the runway. It's all part of Mini Takes the States, a nationwide tour where many owners drive together to tour the country, and they're also raising money for Feeding America. They drove into town last night for a party at the Clinton Presidential Center and left this morning after they all gathered on the airport runway.
When you gather up 500 and 600 minis together, it's a spectacle. You know, we like to say in the car company, Mini is the only car that comes standard with friends. And this community is amazing. People from all around the country have come to Little Rock.
The Minis took off for their next stop in Dallas. Staying in the capital city, the Canis Park basketball courts, which sit directly under the interstate, have been removed. Among those who once frequented the park, NBA All-Star Joe Johnson. Now the city and people who enjoy the park hope the courts will be replaced.
I feel like if we put money into this park, it could become something a lot better.
A spokesperson for the city of Little Rock says they are working on options with RDOT. The city is hoping to rebuild the basketball court after construction is completed. An award-winning fitness program is keeping adults in shape in Northwest Arkansas. Take a look at this. It looks like fun. The Drums Alive workout is for adults 60 and over. It provides a workout for the body and the mind by promoting physical, social, and emotional health. The class uses exercise balls and pool noodles instead of drums and drumsticks to make it a little easier for seniors.
I was having fun, I was laughing, and then when we finished, 10 minutes later, I realized I'm doing cardio and didn't even know it. So, and we're stretching and moving and grooving. Fun.
It does look like fun. The director of the Fayetteville Senior Activity and Wellness Center says the workout is flexible for anyone who wants to take part. The class is free for anyone over 60. It's a real-life Footloose. It really happened. Since 1953, it has been illegal to dance on Sundays in Fort Smith. Well, as of last night, that law is no more. No one has been arrested or ticketed for dancing on Sundays in the past 20 years, but now they are officially allowed to.